Well, how's it going, young adults? I hope you are doing well today. Welcome to our live stream. We're so glad that you are joining us tonight, and it's going to be a great night. And so if you're watching with your small group, or if you're watching with some friends, or if you're just watching by yourself, we are just so glad that you would join us for a small amount of time just to get to grow and learn and develop in our faith. And so I hope you had a great new year. I hope you're getting off to a great start with your 2021 goals and vision. And we're going to be starting out with a new sermon series tonight, and really just to help you set up your year in 2021. And we're going to be focusing on something so important to our faith, and I'm just so excited to be sharing it with you. And so I would love if you would take notes, and then in the chat, maybe take some notes in the chat. Let us know that you're in the chat. It's just going to be a great time of just growing tonight, hopefully, and maybe some knowledge, and also challenging you just to really develop in something that maybe you haven't been really taking a step in your faith. And so the sermon series we're going to be talking about for the next month is going to be called Fasting Forward. Fasting Forward. And so we're going to be talking about fasting. I know that you're like, man, I don't want to talk about fasting. Like, I just finished 2020. Just let me eat what I want, Pastor Taylor. Like, I got you. All right, I understand. But I'm telling you, there's so much power in fasting. And as a team and myself, I thought, man, wouldn't it be great to start the year out fasting? Putting our focus on Jesus, putting our focus on our faith, and really starting this year saying, God, we want you to do something big in our life. And I really believe that's going to come through fasting. And so we're going to be talking about fasting, the importance of it, what it is, why we do it, the benefits. It's just going to be a great time of content, and really just developing the understanding of fasting. And you know, there's a guy that, a pastor that I love. His name's Jentezen Franklin. He wrote a book, and it's called Fasting. I recommend you take a look at it. It's a powerful book. But he says there's three things that are important in our spiritual walk. And they are praying, giving, and fasting. And the crazy thing is that I really feel that fasting has become a biblical principle that many believers have missed or don't participate in. You know, we pray and we give sometimes, but fasting, man, I think there's a lot of believers that don't even know the purpose of fasting or even implement it in their life. And I want us to get back to these biblical principles, and I want us to start implementing fasting in our life, not just maybe once a year, but doing it as a regular biblical principle every single week or every month. We do this because there's so much power in fasting. I'm telling you, if you haven't fasted, if you don't understand fasting, you want to pay attention to this sermon series because it's going to help you so much. So let's start simple. All right, let's start simple. So what is fasting? All right, so what is fasting? Fasting, if you're taking notes, is abstaining or limiting something in your life for a certain amount of time. So this could be foods, it could be, social media, it could be TV, it could be going out, picking something that you're going to abstain from or limit in your life for a duration of time. And kind of the basis of it is restricting the consumption of substance. Okay, this is big. Restricting the consumption of substance to concentrate on something with deeper purpose. So for us and for myself, it would be our faith. That would be the concentration. We're not going to consume this substance. We're going to concentrate on our faith in this time of fasting. And so let me break down maybe some fasts. So, okay, Pastor Taylor, that's what fasting is. It's abstaining. So maybe help me. What do I not eat? Do I not what can I fast? And so I want to help you. All right. So this is just a couple ideas of fasting, and then the duration, so you can kind of get an idea of it. All right. So the first thing would be a full fast. So this is a full on fast, and that would be no food and no water for a set amount of time. And now this is like a big deal. This is a tough one. If you've never fasted before, I would not recommend doing this one. I don't want you to die. All right. That's not my purpose. All right. Or get sick. But this is a full on fast. It's no water and no food to really concentrate and focus your faith on the Lord. And so that's the first one. The second one would be a partial fast. So that would be no food but you can drink water. So it'll be no food for a certain amount of time, but you can consume water and you can drink water. And some people, they do, broths or something to just give them a little bit of nutrients. And so that's a partial fast. And then the last one would be a limited fast. So a lot of people do the limited fast, and that's where they limit a certain type of food or a certain thing in their life for a duration of time. So it might be, no meat. Like, I'm not going to eat meat and give this time to the Lord. I'm not going to eat sweets. I'm not going to, eat fast food. I'm not going to eat chocolate. That's that's a limited fast. Or I'm not going to go on social media for a certain amount of time. That's a limited fast. And I want you to understand something. When it comes to fasting, we need to make sure that we don't remove the purpose of fasting and the general beginning of the idea of fasting. Fasting has to do with food. So, the power, there's an extreme amount of power when you fast food. So don't just limit, social media or TV and all that stuff. No, let's keep our focus on the food, because that was the beginning, original aspect of fasting. That was food. It wasn't, social media. It wasn't TV. It wasn't video games. It wasn't people, or, it was food. And so I want you to keep that in your thoughts as we kind of go through this. Okay. So we have the full fast with the partial fast and then the limited fast. And then now let's go to duration. So, okay, Taylor, how long should I fast now? Should I fast for a day? Should I fast for an hour? Should I fast for a meal? And I want to help you, because those can all be the right answer. And I'm going to give you kind of durations of time that are actually in the Bible of people who fasted. So you can fast a meal. So I'm not going to eat lunch today, or I'm not going to eat dinner tonight, and I'm going to do that type of fast. You can do a 24-hour fast, so a 1-day fast. I'm not going to eat for a whole day, or I'm not going to go on social media for a whole day. I'm not going to play video games for a whole day. It can be a 24-hour fast. And then you could do a 3-day fast. You can do a 7-day fast, a 14-day fast, a 21-day fast, which that's where a lot of organizations do 21-day fasts. As churches or, nonprofit organizations, they do a lot of 21-day fasts. And then there's a 40-day fast. So there's multiple times in scripture where there's 40-day fasts. And so those are kind of the durations. So if you're like, where should I start? What should I do? If you've never fasted, I would start small. All right, try fasting a meal, or try fasting a day of something certain. But don't go, hey, I'm going to fast for 40 days. All right. I would not recommend doing that. All right. So now that we talked about what is fasting and the full fast, the partial fast, the limited, and then kind of the durations, I want to talk about just the purpose of fasting. So I'm not going to get too deep into it, because next week, you got to tune in next week, I'm going to be talking about the benefits of fasting. So there's so many benefits, and there's so many reasons why we fast to really help our faith grow. But I want to kind of just give you an overarching reason why we fast. And so this is the purpose. If you want to write this down, the purpose of why we fast, just the overarching purpose of why we fast. If you had to nail it down and say, this is why I fast, is we fast to develop a deeper focus on our faith in God. I want to say it one more time. We fast to develop a deeper focus on our faith in God. See, some of us, our faith has been limited because we have not practiced fasting. Some of us feel like we can't hear God because we haven't been practicing fasting. Some of us have been trying to make decisions and struggling making decisions. And because we haven't been fasting, we haven't been making the right decisions. I'm telling you, if you implement fasting into your faith, you will go a lot farther and you're going to move forward in your life. And so please tune into this, pay attention, listen, grow, take notes. I'm telling you, fasting is something you're going to want to put into your faith. So as we end tonight, I have a challenge for you. This week, I want you to think and pray about what you can fast. I don't want you to fast this week. I don't want you to start implementing yet. We're going to keep learning. We're going to keep growing. But I just want you to start processing what is something you can give up so you can really dig deep into your faith. What is something that you can stop consuming so you can start concentrating on what Jesus has for your life? That's all I have, all right? So it's not gonna be a big thing. It's not gonna be a big one. And I want you to really think and pray about this And don't do something that's, not going to stretch you. Do something that's going to stretch you. Do something that's going to help you really dig deep into this fasting principle in our faith. And I promise you, you're going to love it and you're going to be so rewarded for it. All right, so there you got your challenge. I hope you have an amazing week. We love you. We miss you. And say bye in the chat. We will see you next week. Take care. Have a good one.